Last night, a free AI model shipped real, tested code into one of my repositories, and nobody touched it between the written request and the merge. I am Jamie. I build Keelen, an autonomous dev loop that works a GitHub repository from written requests and opens pull requests. If you want this on your own repository, go to keelen.ai and bring your own OpenRouter key. I am going to show you every receipt, including the part where it broke. First, what this is not. Keelen does not give you a model. You connect your own OpenRouter account, and you pick the route it runs on. The route I used for this run is a free preview model from a provider who has not said who they are. Their own listing says it. Prompts and completions for this model are retained by the provider. So I pointed it at a throwaway repository I was happy to make public. You should do the same. For private code, pick a name provider with a no retention policy. The key is yours, so the choice is yours. Here is the request I wrote. It is a real specification, not a toy prompt. Build a small retry library. Feature 1 is a back-off schedule that doubles and then clamps with the exact expected output written down. Feature 2 is a retry budget that uses the first feature, so it cannot be built until feature 1 exists. I wrote this once in plain English, and then I left it alone. The loop read that and sorted it out on its own, 2 roadmap items, 1 per feature. It also wrote itself 2 standing rules from the same paragraph. Rule 1. This library ships with 0 runtime dependencies, standard library only. Rule 2. The retry code stays pure, so it never sleeps and never reads the clock. Nobody typed those rules in. They came out of the request, and they now apply to every future change. Then it planned the first feature into a task with acceptance criteria and built it. 1 iteration. The tests it wrote passed on a clean copy of the repository. Now the part that decides whether any of this is worth anything. Before that code could merge, it went through 3 gates. Gate 1, the test comes first, and the loop proves the test fails without the code. Gate 2, the code goes in, and the test passes. Gate 3 is the one I care about. The loop deletes the body of the function it just wrote, runs the tests again, and they have to fail. If they still pass, the tests were decoration, and the whole thing is thrown out. They failed, which means the tests are real. Then a second model read the pull request and tried to find a wrong implementation that would still pass. Its verdict, word for word, wrong implementation, none found. CI went green, and the loop merged it. 49 minutes after the repository was created, 22 seconds after that merge, the loop looked at feature 2. Watch what it did. It went and checked that feature 1 was actually in the main branch first. Its own note says so, verified that plan backoff is merged, and the retry budget is unbuilt. Only then did it plan the second feature. It understood that one depended on the other from a sentence in my request. And then it stalled. The build for feature 2 died in the middle. Here is exactly why. And it is not what you would guess. It was not my daily limit. At that point, I had used 27 requests out of 1,000. The free provider itself was overloaded. 5 rejections in a row, over 3 minutes, while the model was in the middle of writing tests. So the iteration stopped. It merged nothing, it invented nothing, and it did not wake me up. It left the task in the queue. And then later, with nobody asking it to, it picked that task back up and shipped it. Feature 2 is merged too. So here is the bill for both features. 49 requests, 2.3 million tokens through the route, most of them cache hits, $0. That is OpenRouter's own meter on my own key. 2 honest notes on that number. The 1,000 requests a day only applies once you have put $10 into OpenRouter at some point. Below that, it is 50 a day. And a small, well-specified library like this one fits inside that cap many times over. A large repository with heavy context will fit far fewer. Plan on single-digit full iterations a day at the heavy end. So that is the whole thing. Receipts and all, 1 written request, 2 features, both merged, both tested, both reviewed for $0 in model fees. One of them stalled halfway because free capacity is somebody else's capacity, and the loop waited and finished it later without me. Keelen runs the loop. It plans, it builds, it writes the test first, it reviews itself, and it merges. You bring the model on your own key, on a route you choose, under data terms you agree to. Start at Keelen.ai. Every receipt in this video is linked in the description, and the repository is public.